Rochester Institute of Technology, your average technical university, home to 15,000 students. They daily roam its 1,300-acre campus, perfectly safe in their idyllic college life. Or are they? In January of 2006, a first-year student disappeared from life here. Evidence suggests homicide, but the university denies the incident altogether. But what really happened to Beatrix Chavelle?
Do you still feel unsafe on campus, even though the murder happened over a year ago?
No, I feel quite content.
Yeah?
Yeah?
No. I see security every 3 seconds. I feel safe now.
Yeah, I still feel safe. I feel safe.
You do?
Yeah.
No. What? There was a murder?
Yeah, last January.
What?
Beatrix Chavelle was a first-year information technology student enrolled at RIT beginning in the fall of 2005. She graduated East Syracuse Minowa High School in June of 2005, finishing second in her class. By all accounts, she was a friendly, bright young woman with a brilliant future.
Alright, so what kind of person was Beatrix?
Smart, funny, pretty girl.
She was really cool. She was smart, really smart. That's what I remember most about her. Always getting A's.
Well, she's a really great student. Just loved math.
Yes, very athletic like her mom.
Oh, very smart like her dad. Of course, the whole family's pretty much that way. And it's to be expected. Very popular, very pretty.
Well, she's a pretty cool person, you know. She was smart and funny and very athletic and...
Such a promising young lady. What on earth went wrong? The day was Wednesday, January 18th, 2006. It started as any other day. Beatrix got up, showered, and ate breakfast at the Student Alumni Union. She then went to class, programming at 12 o'clock, cyber self-defense at 3 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, she had dinner at Grace Watson Hall with her roommate. Then, at 7 o'clock, she left to go study at the Fireside Lounge.
She said she had to go around 7 o'clock to the Fireside Lounge, and that was it.
It's unclear exactly how Beatrix died, since no reports from the brief investigation were ever released. Her death certificate, apparently overlooked in the subsequent cover-up, states that she fell to her death, citing a crushed skull and internal bleeding. Based on the layout of the area and the nature of her demise, we can reconstruct roughly the events leading up to her death.
I need some air.
Beatrix was sitting in the lounge studying when she decided to step outside for some air. She walked out the nearby doors onto the balcony behind the building, conveniently out of sight. Her assailant must have dashed up the stairs through the shadows and thrown her off the balcony onto the ground below. But why is accurate information about this heinous crime so hard to come by? Fearing that a murder on campus would scare potential customers away from enrollment and reduce retention rates, the university moved to cover up the murder. The handful of students aware of the situation were threatened with expulsion. The faculty were told to deny any knowledge of the student. If they talked about Beatrix Chavelle at all, they would be out of a job.
When I reported the body to campus safety, at first they were confused about what to do, and then they asked me who else I had told, and then they said that if I were to tell anyone else, they would expel me. And then they would hurt my grade record so that I wouldn't be able to get into any more colleges. So, how could they do that? Make a cover-up? People need to know that someone was murdered at RIT and that there's a killer out there.
All records of her existence have been erased from their systems, and all documents mentioning her were shredded within a few weeks. Here we have a course completion worksheet, reassembled from shredded scraps found in a dumpster behind Building 70. The name on the worksheet? Beatrix Chavelle. Beatrix's parents were also involved in the cover-up. RIT paid them a hefty sum to stay quiet about the situation. In an interview, they insisted that their daughter is still alive and well, attending a private school in Belgium.
Our daughter's an international student in Belgium.
Oh? I thought you went to RIT.
Our daughter doesn't go to RIT.
Well, I have evidence that she went to RIT.
Well, she was accepted at RIT, but she never actually went. She had this opportunity to go to Belgium instead.
Who she went?
Okay. Well, regarding your daughter's death...
Our daughter's not dead.
She's not
She's
dead. Where'd you get that idea?
Well, I have this death certificate.
Death
and
certificate?
Death
You do
certificate.
that.
That's
evidence
ridiculous.
that
It's time to
RIT
leave.
Last February, Beatrix's parents moved from their small home outside of Syracuse to this much larger house overlooking Lake Ontario. Was this lavish new home paid for with money from RIT given to cover up their daughter's disappearance? Jennifer Morgan roomed with Beatrix for the first half of the 2005-2006 school year. She wasn't told about the incident involving her friend and roommate.
And she just disappeared.
Didn't see her. These two guys came the next day with, latex gloves and got all her things and left. I assume she just moved out.
Her friends were also kept in the dark. They say she just disappeared without a trace, and they still have no idea where she is.
I haven't talked to her in so long. I used to Facebook her and call her up, but I think she changed her number.
Well, I haven't really talked to her in a long time. I don't really remember when the last time I was talking to her. I think she moved away or changed her number, and I don't know about it.
So why hasn't anyone been convicted or even arrested in this case?
And you didn't find it weird that Beatrix disappeared like that?
Oh, I was so busy studying that I didn't even notice. I got a 4.0 that year, though, so...
One of the three suspects in the murder is Beatrix's former roommate, Jennifer Morgan. Beatrix and Jennifer shared a room in Carlton Gibson Hall during their first year at RIT, up until Beatrix's untimely demise. Jennifer comes under suspicion because of the benefits she received after her roommate's death, namely a 4.0 GPA for the quarter and a room all to herself. Also under suspicion is Daniel Catalaro, Beatrix's ex-boyfriend. After the two broke up shortly before Christmas break, Daniel was reportedly very erratic.
And do you remember her dating a boy named Daniel Cavallaro?
Yeah, I hated him. He was a real creep. I don't know. There was something I really didn't like about him.
Oh yeah, the weird one. Beatrix went out with him between Thanksgiving and Christmas break, I think, and he was just off the wall.
So she dumped him right before Christmas then?
I think so, yeah, because, they stopped talking, but he still kept calling. He called and called so much that we had to, take the phone off the hook and just lock our doors. It was horrible.
I didn't really like him too much. He just gave off a weird kind of vibe.
Even after break, he just kept calling. He wouldn't leave her alone. He was just totally weird.
Could Daniel have killed her enraged over his unreturned affections? We have been unable to contact Daniel for comment. Mere days after the incident, Daniel left RIT for good to go study at Texas A&M University. The third suspect is Timothy Sweeney, now a second-year IT student at RIT. Timothy and Beatrix shared a programming course together during their first quarter. Timothy was very competitive but struggled to keep up with Beatrix's exceptional grades.
Tell me about an encounter that you and Beatrix had at Grace Watson Hall with Timothy Sweeney.
Tim? Yeah. Tim was a big weirdo. Okay, so one time we're at Gracie's, we're sitting down, Tim